The following is a production of WCMP Sports. It's time for volleyball action here on WCMP. First serve is coming up shortly, but now we send it to the court for the call of this match.
Hold on. There we go.
There we go. Now I got to hit the right button there on that one. That's my fault. Andy Beckstrom on hand here at the XL Energy Center.
Off to a great start.
Once again. Always it's a high point in things right from the get-go. You set that bar.
You
things
set
are
the
going
tone
well.
for the
Exactly.
entire match.
Just, really prepared. It's all going well. Where are we again? XL Energy Center.
There we go.
Andy Beckstrom alongside Adam Hefty. Longtime broadcast partner over the many years. Haven't done a lot of games together lately, but kind of back in the proverbial saddle next to each other once again.
Yeah, it's good to see. I mean, with constraints, it's hard to get two people at a broadcast at once, but state tournament, you really have to try hard to get two people just for the banter alone.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a lot of fun to be able to, and it's always kind of tough. Especially depending on the game and the situation. But we try to cover as many games as we can that I'm not going to say spread thin, but we're in a lot of places.
Yeah.
And so,
Had 4 state tournament teams in this fall season.
You're not going to get a lot of color commentary when you got people spread out all over the place. So
our teams did too well.
A lot of fun. I know. I'm not complaining at all one bit. Unfortunately, though, as far as teams doing well, things have not gone super well for our local area. As Malacca losing last night, North Branch losing last night, and then Ogilvie losing today. As far as state tournament teams and fall sports, we are now down to the Rush City Tigers, who we have on the broadcast tonight. They lost last night, but there is a consolation bracket to work with in volleyball. So we're not done yet, but we are down to our last team, but a pretty darn good one if you ask me.
Yeah, we were talking about it before the broadcast when we were sitting here at the beautiful XL Arena. We were talking about how great it is that they have these consolation brackets, and you're not just coming down for one game and leaving. If you lose, you get another shot at it, and that's what we have with Rush City and Pipestone, the Arrows of Pipestone.
And I'm not going to say that driving from Rush City is a short drive or nothing, but if you're driving from Pipestone,
or Pequot Lakes, or
exactly, it's a long, tough, heavy drive. If you have a team like Ely that's here, there's a lot of distance in the state of Minnesota if you haven't driven around lately.
It's a big state.
It's really nice to be able to have these additional games and be able to allow people, like you said, the opportunity to, essentially for sure get 2 games in, and that's kind of where we're at right now with the Rush City Tigers losing 3-0 in yesterday's match. And Adam, you did that game yesterday. I'll let you talk a little bit about kind of how that went against the Annandale Cardinals.
Annandale, a very talented squad. They had a great hitter with Callie Jones, who had 20 kills on the night just with 3 sets. Rush City did get better as the night went on. First set went 25-14, and the second one went 25-16. And then the third and final set was a lot closer with 25-22. So getting better throughout the night, and that seemed to be a goal of this Rush City squad last night, albeit in a 3-set sweep.
Yeah, it's tough if you end up losing a couple. You have so much momentum that you don't have that the other team has, and trying to be able to wrap things up. And when you get to this level at the state tournament, teams are just so good, and you can't really give them an inch at all to be able to try to win a ball game, be able to move on. And that's something that the Rush City Tigers are going to contend with tonight against the Pipestone area Arrows, which should be a pretty interesting matchup. Just one common opponent, which was Annandale.
Yeah.
So not a lot of any really record to be able to go off of. Pipestone did beat Annandale 2-1 in an invitational earlier today in September. So in September, now we're in November, does that, end in a tournament? How much do you put into that? But at the same time, it does kind of lend a little bit of information to, that it's going to be a tough matchup if nothing else whatsoever.
Yeah, we do know a little bit about Pipestone, just a little bit, and that little bit is that this is a good squad that Rush City is facing tonight.
Rush City finished the year 27-1. getting into the state tournament. They are now 27-2 after the loss to Annandale yesterday. On the other side, Pipestone area, they come into tonight's matchup 26-6 after losing the other half of the bracket to, I believe, Cannon Falls, I believe, is who they lost to in their matchup.
Got swept by Cannon Falls, the second seed in this Class AA tournament.
And so consolation bracket we go. We had the other parts of the bracket in games earlier tonight, and we'll recap some of that and then get you set for the opening tap of tonight's matchup when we return to the XL Energy Center in St. Paul on FM 106.5 WCMP.
End of the season means savings at Minnesota Equipment. Save big on remaining zero turns in stock. Bravely, Aaron's, Toro, and John Deere. Buy now with 0% financing available. That's zero on zero turns. Need a walk behind instead? They got plenty of those too. On site and ready to go. The knowledgeable staff will get you the machine that fits your property size. Minnesota Equipment. Your neighbors. Your experts. Your neighborly experts. Highway 65 in Isanti or at minnesotaequipment.com.
Most Americans do not have a proper will or estate plan in place. Many of you listening have been putting off that important task for a long time. Stop waiting and contact Spear & Swanson today. Spear & Swanson can help you put together a tight legal estate plan to make sure the assets you've been working so hard to obtain get passed on to your loved ones in the way that best fits you. Spear & Swanson, attorneys at law in Pine City. Call 320-629-7586. That's 320-629-7586.
Hey, I'm Chad Greenway. When I was playing, I loved chasing down running backs. But you shouldn't have to chase your bank around when you're buying a home. Franzen Bank & Trust Mortgage Consultants will be with you stride for stride, like a linebacker on a running back, from pre-approval to closing and beyond. Let Franzen Bank guide you through the mortgage process. Learn more at franzenbank.com/get there. Franzen Bank & Trust. Real people, real results. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Choose the right divorce attorney. Spear & Swanson will make sure the judge knows your side of the story. Let them help you with your divorce, custody, child support, harassment, or orders for protection. They also handle DWIs and other legal matters. The right divorce attorney does make a difference. That's why you need to choose Spear & Swanson, attorneys at law in Pine City. Call 320-620-7586.
October is College Knowledge Month at Pine Technical and Community College. The whole month, PTCC will be providing a variety of events for high school students and the community to learn more about college options. College Knowledge Month is meant to provide future students with the preparation, opportunity, and support needed to apply to college. Join PTCC for a nursing program information session on October 26th at 2:30 p.m. Everyone is welcome. Learn more at pine.edu.
No appointment? No problem. Injuries and feeling ill don't always happen during normal business hours. That's why Wellia Health has urgency services open 7 days a week. Urgency Services in Pine City offers the care you need when you need it. Hours are now 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. 7 days a week. No need to call or make an appointment. Just stop in. When tomorrow isn't soon enough and normal business hours just won't do, you can count on Wellia Health to be there for you. Live life well at Wellia Health.
It's almost time to start pushing snow. Sorry, just the messenger. Thankfully, Minnesota Equipment in Isanti has affordable machines to do the heavy lifting. Any size property. Toro and Aaron's walk behind snow blowers. Oh, you got land, huh? How about John Deere lawn and garden tractors? Or a compact utility tractor? Minnesota Equipment has them in stock. Snow removal doesn't have to be backbreaking. Not if you get into Minnesota Equipment. Highway 65 in Isanti. Or visit minnesotaequipment.com.
FM 106.5 WCMP. Andy Beckstrom on hand at the XL Energy Center with Adam Hefty joining me on the broadcast tonight, and should be a fun matchup here in the State AA Consolation semifinals between the Rush City Tigers and the Pipestone Arrows on the other side of things. And Adam, we talked a little bit about the opening round match and how things kind of went to be able to get here. Rush City does have a tough task in front of them in the Pipestone area Arrows, but what are going to be some of the keys, or some of the key players, I guess you should say, but for the Rush City Tigers?
I'm pretty new at calling volleyball, so I like to compare it to other sports that I know more about. And it sort of reminds me of football when you have 1st and 10 and you want to stay ahead of the chains. That means staying on schedule. So it seems like when Rush City gets off schedule, when they're playing defense a lot and they're not able to get on schedule, getting the hit, getting the set, and getting the attack, it really puts them on their heels, and it really puts them in a bad spot. So it seems like that is the big thing for Rush City to do. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I know. I follow with you. Having a strong start is really going to be huge in a game like this. You get some momentum right away. You get some confidence built right away. And it all starts in my mind. The entire thing runs through Cora Sojatovic. Sojatovic, the setter, a junior, plays very smart, makes good decisions, and we could talk at length to a certain extent about how solid and how dominant at times Lydia Bankston can be. But I think that really for the Rush City Tigers to have success, they're going to need some contributions from about 3 or 4 other hitters.
Yeah, Veronica Hemming had a big game yesterday afternoon, but they spent a lot of time, being on their heels, where they spent a lot of time just getting possession of the ball and weren't able to get it to Lydia Bankston to attack. And that's where they're at their best. When they were able to do that last night, they were usually successful in getting points on the Cardinals.
It's going to be interesting if they're able to get a quick start against this squad. They have some height, let me tell you. Up front, they're going to have Erin McGee in that starting lineup. She's listed at 6'3" as a middle hitter, and that's a tough matchup that you're going to see. I think it's going to be the matchup between her with Michaela Ertz and Autumn Stream are going to have to battle basically against an Erin McGee. And, whether they bring help from the side to be able to double hit or double block, we'll see how they start on the other side with Pipestone as far as what they're able to do.
And that's what Rush City was doing there in that third set, where they were able to get some success with the double block on Callie Jones, and they made that third set a lot closer than the first two.
Arrows are coached by Dave Dulas, and the Rush City Tigers coached by Eric Thielander. The court off to our left is Annandale and Cannon Falls. Cannon Falls already out to a 4-0 lead over the top of Annandale, and so
I went through the whole day yesterday not seeing the scoreboard is right behind me. I was thinking I needed to see that one.
Well, that's what.
I learned something today. Thanks, Andy.
That's what I'm here. I'm here for situational awareness. Get you out of your blinders a little bit.
Wow, that's alarming, to be honest with you.
Taking a look at the starting lineup for Pipestone. Checking out of the game, Aubrey Kaur. She'll check out of the game. She's replaced by the libero Melody Remund. In the back row, Kayla Hubling and number 16, Callie Lingen. Lingen's going to be their setter. Up front, of course, the talented Erin McGee, or at least tall Erin McGee. We'll see how she is. Megan Lingen in the front row, along with Kyla Hubbing. Rush City Tigers on the other side, Ella Ferry, Veronica Hemming, Lydia Bankston, Michaela Ertz, McKenna Gar, your libero, and Cora Sojatovic. Sojatovic will start things off, serving from right to left, set far side. It's going to be passed back over by Kyla Hubbing. Opportunity for Rush City. On the near side, shot by Bankston, blocked and sent right back over. Sojatovic back sets, and Hemming puts it real high in the air. Opportunity now for Pipestone. Doubles hit on the near side, and right through that double block, Erin McGee comes on a little curl route over to the near side, trying to get her moving and out of that stationary spot where a defense can really get set up out of her. And it's a 1-0 start for Pipestone. Shot comes over, up by Bankston. Back set for Bankston on the far side. Blocked. It's going to go towards the edge, but played on that edge by Sojatovic. Up high in the air by the libero Remond, and then sent over by the Arrows. Again, Kenna Gar sets over to the near side. Sent over by Bankston, dug out by the Arrows. Set far side, down the line by Hubling. Sojatovic with it on the other side. Ertz off the block, and Ertz has it blocked and affected by Erin McGee.
Erin McGee, yeah, she's been a force here in those first two sets, or first 2 points.
Pipestone leads it 2-0 here in the very early going. Quick touch across by Stojanovic, but picked up by Pipestone, but just bumped across by Lingen. And an opportunity now. Quick set on the push. They went with the quick, they call it a shoot play when you get it quick, but not a very high set, just shoot it straight across. Stojanovic to Bankston on this near side before that defense can rotate out. And a side out for Rush City.
And Bankston's at her best when she's attacking, and that shoot play that you say that I learned today. That's
learning all sorts of stuff.
There's a scoreboard behind me. Shoot play.
Bankston with the serve. Going to be up on the far side and set onto that edge now for Meredith Draper into the ball game for the Arrows. Back set for Hemming on the far side, and her hit touches off of the antenna.
The barber pole.
There we go. That'll be out of bounds on Rush City. 3-1 in favor of the Pipestone area Arrows. Serving from left to right. Lob comes across. Ferry up with it. Stojanovic back sets for Ertz on the far side. Cross court. This is going to be up near the stands, and a good solid hit on that far side by Ertz. Being able to use the wide side of the court and get a little bit of an angle on that cut shot.
Just 5 points in, but it looks as though these are two evenly matched squads.
Don't anticipate a runaway necessarily in this ball game. Quick touch across by Hubling, dug out by Rush City. Quick set in the middle, Stream taps it across. What a up on the other side by Lingen with the pancake. Into the middle it goes. Bankston from the back row. The 10-footer.
That was beautiful.
What a shot by Bankston. They'd like to feed her everywhere on the court. Not always in the back row because they do still have some pretty talented hitters, but she can hit from all six.
Yeah, absolutely, and got that back corner.
McKenna Garr back to serve. Knuckleball comes across. It'll be up by Hubling. Then get over to the far side. That one's going to be off a block for Kayla Hubling. You have Kayla Hubling and Kyla Hubling. That's not confusing at all.
Hubling, famously easy name to say.
Hubling and Johnson.
Yeah.
Serving is going to be the libero, Melody Redmond. 4-3 is the lead for Pipestone, and this one to the back row off of Hubling's hand. I think it was kind of a little change-up off the block. Wasn't quite prepared for it. And it'd be a kill by Veronica Hemming. Hemming will drop back to serve. Rush City in their blue uniforms, gold numerals and trim. Pipestone in white with green numerals and trim. Tap on the far side, and into the net goes Kayla Hubling. The set was really close to the net. Not a lot she could do with that. Tried to punch it over, but it went right into the net instead. And Rush City takes the lead. Hemming sends this one across. Hubling up over to the far side. Big swing and off the block. Stojanovic got a piece of it, but sometimes you read that block and you hit it into their hands on purpose to be able to play it outside. Just anywhere that they can't play it.
Yeah,
that's a smart play.
Yeah, that close to the sideline. It's really an attacker's best friend.
End of the game to serve Callie Lingen. So you have Megan Lingen and Callie Lingen on the court. And Kayla Hubling and Kyla Hubling. That one goes through the hands and Stream with the kill on the near side. Double block was set up on this near side with Hubling and I believe with Lingen. Got a 1/3 chance by saying those names. But it's Stream able to get that one through. Set far side on the return now for Ambria Kaur, and that one is deep on the hit.
Yeah, a bit strong on that one. Gave Rush City a 7-5 lead now. Biggest lead of the night for Rush City.
Back to serve Ella Ferry to put it in play. This one into the net. Try to get it as close to the tape as you can, and if you get it a little bit too low, the net just eats it up. Into the ball game for the Rush City Tigers is going to be Abigail Thielander. Youngster. I shouldn't say youngster because really there's a lot of youth on this Rush City squad. Very, very talented youth. Bankston, one of the juniors, with the kill, able to get it outside of the hands of an outstretched Melody Remond. Got down hard on it, but just could not reach it. And such a good spot to be able to put that. Good court vision by Lydia Bankston. Stream back to serve. Lingen over to the far side. This one goes off the block. And punched back over. Great return by Tuinstra. Quick touch across. Dug out by the libero and tap back across by Core, and it's going to be a point for the Arrows. Both teams tried that little touch across because the defense sometimes have that little gap in the middle. Pipestone found it this time.
Yeah, when you get to the state tournament, discipline is big for every one of these teams, and it's going to be tough.
Stojanovic tracked it down over to the near side, but well out of her range. Trying to be able to get that one, and you want to let that setter get it at all costs, but at the same time, sometimes they need a little help just to make sure that they can get something set up. Set near side, Bankston off the block. Return goes out of bounds.
Very close.
Hand on it was Aaron McGee as Bankston watches it a la Derek Jeter. Very kind of watch it very close. Completed one rotation now as Cora Stojanovic drops back to serve now. Rush City leading 9-8 over the top of Pipestone. Midway through game number 1 here at the XL Energy Center, and the return going to be an ace. It was played up by Callie Lingen, but it went into the net.
Just a little bit too close to the net for the setter to really get any chance to it.
Megan Lingen wanted to try to pick it off of the net, but it hit the bottom part of the tape, so it went straight down. Stojanovic to the back row, and it's deep. Long on that one, 10-9. The lead, Rush still holds the lead. Pipestone with the serve, and back to serve is going to be Megan Lingen for Pipestone. Pipestone over the top, up by Gar. Great back set, pushed across though by Bankston. Way to the back row. Thielander gets it out to the back, high in the air. Across it comes. They go with a quick set over to the near side, and it's hit down the line by Draper, but dug out beautifully by Rush. Down the line. That's great court vision right there. Seeing that the defense rotated to the right, and Bankston just kind of pulls her shoulders a little and goes down the line.
Yeah, saw Pipestone out of position and found the open spot on the floor.
Rush City with more attacks overall. We have all the stats, deep stats here. A lot of analytics.
Yes.
We'll call it. Rush City leads at 11-9. Kills 8-4 in favor of Rush City. A lot of that due to Bankston. She has 5 of those kills. Up in the back row, Lingen sets over to the far side. Draper sends it over and deep. Tried to go back row, tried to play it over the top of the block a little, but just not able to find that angle.
Yeah, when you have that kind of height, you're really shrinking that window over the top.
Winner of this match will battle Belle Plaine tomorrow back here at the XL Energy Center. Belle Plaine winning earlier today against Browerville. Up into the middle, Lingen sets back over to the far side, and down the line goes Hubling, and that'll be a kill. Stemming the tide and the run that Rush City has been on. Put together a pretty decent run. They lead 12-10. Good pick by Stojanovic to pull it off of the net. Opportunity now on the far side for Pipestone, and Hubling able to hit it through the block, and the deflection out of the reach of the remaining defenders.
Yeah, now just a 1-point lead, but really there hasn't been a big lead on either side all night.
Kyla Hubling sends this one across, up by Gar. Stojanovic quick set in the middle, and I don't know if it was it touched? It was touched. Yep, the corner official said there was a tip on the way through. And Rush City will get it back. The hit went deep, but sometimes you're not aiming for the court. You're just trying to hit it off of fingertips.
Bit of misfortune because that one wasn't going to be close.
Gar with the jump serve sends this one across. Lingen into the near side. Draper down the line and able to get that one past the outstretched hands of Stream and Ferry. Got a piece of it, but got it through the middle, that little gap that sometimes opens up on the double block. Bankston up with it on the serve. Tied. Rush City leads 13-12. Back set over to the near side. Draper cross court up by Bankston in the back row. Stojanovic back set for Hemming. Cross court over to the near side. Draper up with it. Lingen over to the far side. Tapped over by Hubling. Just kind of a change up. Went for the little tap across. Trying to go short with it. And I don't know if it necessarily hit that open spot or if Rush City kind of had that. You kind of look at each other and like,
sure, yeah.
I think you maybe, I didn't, and nobody gets it.
Yeah, Bankston was there, but it looked like she mistimed it.
That one goes off the hands a little weird for Melody Remond and almost in get to the bottom of the net. Rush gets the ball back, leading 14-13. Game number 1 between the Tigers and the Arrows in the consolation semifinals. Set over to the near side for Draper. Blocked at the net by Ferry. And the return, little miscommunication for the Arrows, and Lingen never came up on the ball, and it drops on the Arrow side.
So still within that 3-point window. Just 15-13 now to score.
Hemming, nice low, hard serve. Lingen up with it over to the far side. Hubbling down the line. Dug out by Bankston. Bankston, you can give her a lot of credit for hitting as the hit by Ferry goes into the net. You could say a lot about the hitting and striking that Lydia Bankston has, but defensively, she's one of the better defenders that we have seen in our area.
She's really a really good all-around player for the Tigers.
Ball comes across, serving is going to be Callie Lingen over to the near side. Bankston pops that one across, rolls it over. Set far side now into the hands of Kayla Hubbling. Dug out in the back row and set in the middle for Stream off a block and dug out by Pipestone, but it's going to be on a lift. No, but double hit. And you'll see that a lot of times, especially with the setter. If it has spin on it, it rolled from one hand to the other. At least that's the way it was explained to me once upon a time, that it's got a little turn to it so it didn't hit both hands cleanly. But usually you only see it with setters. This one cross court, and the winner on the near side, Gar. I don't know that she would have got there, but she was looking at it pretty hard, thinking that it was going to maybe be out of bounds, but it just catches the sideline on this near edge.
Yeah, good placement on that hit, right on that sideline.
Out goes Kayla Hubbling. In comes Tegan Twinstra, 5-foot senior, designated server. Mostly just does that. Stojatovic over to the near side, tap across by Bankston. Up over to the far side now for Hubbling, and blocked on that far side, but it had just enough momentum to stay on that side of the net. It kind of got caught up rattling back and forth between the net and the Tigers.
Tied once again. Are you surprised?
Not really at all. Going to be a phenomenal match here tonight. Quick tap across by Stojatovic, but there to dig that one out is going to be Riemann. Into the middle it goes, and down the line, Core missed it deep. And it'll be a point for Rush City. And that's where you start looking at even attack errors. A little bit of surprising. Pipestone, 5 attack errors on 28 attacks. That's really where not a lot, but enough of the points so far have come for Rush City. Stojatovic over to the near side on the long pass. Bankston to the back corner. Lingen over to the far side. Riemann sends it across into the middle for Ertz. Dug out by Lingen. Back set over to the far side. Hubbling attached that one across. Bankston up with it. Calls for it back over to the near side. Bankston on her hand. Spins on the net. Picked off by the Pipestone Arrows. Deep onto the far side. It's going to be bumped over by Hubbling. And then a little miscommunication, and you hate to see that on a great rally, really, by both squads, back and forth. You'd rather see it be by a hard crush rather than just the ball dropping.
Yeah, certainly better to have 2 players go after it than none.
Ball to the back row. Stojatovic over to the near side. Popped over by Bankston. Up to the front. Hubbling goes cross court to the far side. Off the block. It stays on the Rush City side, and that's a kill for Kyla Hubbling, and we're going to get a timeout for Coach Eric Thielander. Wants to talk to Stojatovic and the rest of the Rush City squad. 18-17 Pipestone leads. We'll be back to the XL Energy Center on FM 106.5 WCMP.
Hi, this is Shelby from Unity Bank in Rush City, Minnesota. Do you want to give your teenager independence and responsibility? Open a savings account or a checking account with a debit card at Unity Bank today. Plus, with the Unity Control mobile app, you can help control their debit card activity. And stay tuned because we'll soon be offering a Rush City Tigers School Spirit debit card, where with every purchase you make with your School Spirit debit card, Unity Bank will donate up to 5 cents to our local Rush City School District. Let's be committed to community together. You can find us at unitybanking.com, and our number is 320-358-3600, member FDIC.
FM 106.5 WCMP. Andy Beckstrom on hand, along with Adam Hefty at the XL Energy Center state semifinals in the consolation bracket of AA Volleyball. Rush City Tigers trailing the Pipestone area Arrows 18-17. Match number 1, or set number 1, I should say. Set up front, and now went a little too far on the set by Stojatovic. And the return comes back across. I thought I was going to have to play that ball, but ends up going up into the press area.
You can't play, Andy.
One of the Rush City student section members, Johnny on the spot to come and get it. Pipestone now 19-17 with the lead. Over to the near side. Ertz had it a little, or Bankston rather, had it a little bit behind her. And that's the height right there of Erin McGee, that you get a 50-50 ball that's up in the air, and she can reach a little higher and redirect it. More than hit it hard, just redirect it, reading that defense. Over to the near side, Bankston trying to hit that one hard down the line. Dug out by the arrows, but free ball in the middle is going to be popped back across by Aubrey Accor. Over to the near side, Bankston, hard off the block, and that'll be a kill for the Rush City junior.
That was a big point for Rush City. They needed it, and they went for Bankston on that one. No surprise.
We've seen some games where Rush City tries to be a lot more balanced. We've seen some games where they really try to feed Bankston, their top hitter. And you might see a little bit of both on this game. Back set goes for Gore, and she hits it wide on this near side. Callie Lingen watching that one the entire way, and that one was a little bit, it was very close to where Hemming could have just returned it quick, but she elected to try to set that back instead of attack, and Rush City just never really got set for it. Pop across by Hemming comes up well short of the net. And it's a 22-18 lead as the hits keep coming for Pipestone right now, as they have a pretty solid run over the last handful of points. Lead at 22-18, and timeout for Coach Eric Thielander in Rush City. We'll be back here to the X on FM 106.5 WCMP.
Did you know that Franzen Bank and Trust is a Minnesota-owned company? And they're one of the largest community banks around. That's a great combination. As a community bank, they're dedicated to their customers and the communities they serve. You might say they're big enough to help, small enough to care. Last March, they provided $20,000 in grants to 6 different Minnesota communities. They also processed well over 1,700 PPP loans, allowing local small businesses to keep their employees on the payroll during the pandemic. Franzen Bank and Trust. Real people, real results. Member FDIC.
FM 106.5 WCMP. Andy Beckstrom on hand alongside Adam Hefty for the call of today's game. Back to the action we go. Stoyanovich over for Banks on the far side down the line. Dug out by Pipestone. Blocked at the net by Ertz and Hemming. Back for Gore. Back sets to the near side. Popped across by Bankston. Lingen on the near side into the middle, and that's a 4-hit. It never got blocked. Erin McGee tried to hit that one across. Tried to pull that one to hit it more cross court, but never got it over the top of the net.
Rush City's going to need to string a few points together to come back into this one.
And in a tough spot now with Bankston in the back row. Set over to the near side. It's going to be popped across by Hubling. And a net touch by Ertz, I believe it was. And so Ertz touches the net. It'll be a point, 23-19 in favor of Pipestone. Stoyanovich back set over to the far side. Hemming goes cross court a little bit. Dug out nicely by Hubling over to the far side. Offense to defense. Had a pretty good shot and then got back on defense and gets a block at the net on the far side.
A really solid block.
Hubling had it on her hand and gave it everything she had, but a really nice block by Veronica Hemming. And McKenna Gore to serve to the back row. It'll be up by Hubling. Over to the near side. Draper taps that one across. Up by Stream. Stoyanovich over to the near side. Cross court by Ferry. Dug out on the far side by Riemann. Over for Hubling. Dug out by the Tigers. Stoyanovich back sets and touched across by Stoyanovich. Tapped over by Hemming. Returned right back over, and this time Ferry goes for the hard hit. Over to the far side and bumped across by Hubling. Great rally here. Stoyanovich sets for Bankston, 10-foot line. Diving after that one and digging out is going to be Hubling. Over to the far side for Kayla Hubling, and diving after it, Bankston can't get there. And a great rally by both sides comes up short for Rush City.
Yeah, now set point here for Pipestone, trying to take this first one.
24-20, serving is going to be Riemann. Over to the near side, tapped across by Stream, and a nice little change of pace. Stream has been a pretty solid hitter, but goes with the change up with the tap across on that one and gets the kill. to hold game number 1 in the balance still, 24-21, and Veronica Hemming is going to have to get a nice run here for the Tigers. Quick set into the middle, big swing, dug out by Bankston, right back to the net, blocked by Sojatovic on the return. Pipestone with an opportunity. Draper sends it across. Up for Sojatovic. Stream on the back set. Hit that one across and dug out by Lingen. Up it comes Draper. Off the block. Great job getting a piece of it on the block by Stream and Ferry, but unfortunately deflected onto the Rush City side away from the remainder of the defense. And game number 1 goes to Pipestone, 25-21. We'll wrap up game number 2 and get you set for game number 2. Those are the words. We'll wrap up game number 1 and get you set for game number 2 when Andy tries to figure out what's happening.
Words is hard.
Back here at the XL Energy Center on FM 106.5 WCMP.
Keep it clean at Maytag Laundry, with locations in North Branch, Pine City, Cambridge, and Mora. Whether you have rugs that need cleaning, quilts, or comforters, no job is too big for the machines at Maytag Laundry. Your items will look brand new. Whatever you need clean, the machines at Maytag Laundry are up for the task. So when you need to keep it clean, look to the big machines at Maytag Laundry in North Branch, Pine City, Cambridge, and Mora.
Ivy Farms in Rush City is hiring Class A drivers and owner-operators for local and regional freight. Regional trips are to Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Iowa, but they make sure their regional drivers are home every weekend to be with their family. Their company drivers are eligible for health care, paid days off, and an IRA with company match. Get paid weekly with direct deposits every week. To apply, find Ivy Farms on Facebook and send them a message. You can also call them at 320-358-3662. Ivy Farms in Rush City.
Bram Area Public Schools would like to say good luck to our neighbors in Rush City in the state volleyball tournament. At Bram Area Public Schools, we strive to build positive connections with every student that walks into our school. And we are proud to continue those connections with our surrounding communities. We are proud of the Rush City Tigers, representing East Central Minnesota in the state tournament. Bram Area Public Schools. Big enough to offer opportunity, small enough to stand out. Go Bombers! And this time, go Tigers!
FM 106.5 WCMP. Andy Beckstrom on hand along with Adam Hefty at the XL Energy Center. Want to give a shout out to all of our sponsors for jumping on board for all of our games this year, especially the state tournament games. Really nice to see Bram area schools. I want to give them a little extra credit. Rivals, but still civil.
Yeah.
Love being able to see that, from area schools. And that's such a great sense of community around our local area that we just love to be able to see.
Yeah, and we see a lot of Bram kids and parents here that we recognize, and that's actually pretty impressive.
Very fun to be able to have just an environment like that, and that's one of the best parts about being able to do these games is get to know people from both areas and be a part of all that. First set goes to Pipestone 25-21, and the early going, it seemed like the errors for Pipestone was going to be the story. Clearly they cleaned that up as the game went along.
They did, and Rush City, their biggest lead of the night was 3. Pipestone's biggest lead of the night was 4, and that was the last point of that first set. Good time for them to get their largest lead of the night.
Rush City played really well in that first game, but it had some uncharacteristic mistakes, and I think that's maybe something that Coach Eric Thielander is going to talk a little bit about, or maybe did talk a little bit about, as we are going to be back to the action here momentarily. They haven't done it all season, but they're switching sides in the state tournament. So switching sides, Rush City's going to hit from left to right towards the entrance end of the arena here at XL Energy Center. I say that kind of tongue-in-cheek because really it's all an entrance end all the way around. Pipestone will serve to start game number 2, though. Officially game number 2. Bankston on the far side with authority. And that was kind of one of those, I'm done messing around.
Yeah.
We're coming for it.
The best teams will get better as the match goes on, and Rush City really wants to be able to do that. They were able to do that last night.
Ribbich out. Replaced by Thielander. Sojatovic back to serve. Sent over to the near side. Draper across court. I think that might have been partially blocked either by Ertz or Hemming. I think Ertz maybe got a piece of it. And it's hard to fault a block.
Yeah.
But you see it so many times where you just can't get the defense rotated around to it. One game into the middle. Off the block, Ertz able to pick that one out. Sojatovic sets far side for Hemming. Pushes that down the line, up by Ringler over to Draper, and Draper tried to cut that one hard cross court and just could not find the distance or the right height for that one.
Yeah, it was going to be tough, and she wasn't able to do it.
Lydia Bankston back to serve for the Tigers. Left to right on your radio dial or on the YouTube stream if you're following us there. And an ace as the miss hit goes into the net. If you're listening on air on our FM signal, we appreciate you joining us as Bankston serves this one across. Up by Hubling. She'll get it right back and cross court hard. Hubling, not the tallest player on the court, but very hard hitter. You get it in her wheelhouse, and she's hard to defend.
Absolutely.
Back to serve is going to be the libero, Riemann. Up by Guard, the other libero. Into the middle. Sent across by Hemming. Dug out by Pipestone over to the near side, and another big drive and a kill. Hubling got that one out of the outstretched arms of Bankston, which you don't see very often. Not a knock on Bankston, just more so the talent and the hit.
Yeah, Bankston wasn't able to corral it and get a solid hit.
Ball comes across. Stojatovic back sets over to the near side. Hemming off the block to the back row. Up by Hubling. Into the middle for Lingen. Blocked in the middle by Ertz. Scrambling after it. Pipestone sends it across in deep. Gar with it up. Stojatovic. Quick set. Ertz blocked at the net. And the block came back a little bit deep for Ertz. I think she might have been able to reach after that one, but it's tough. You want to reach after it, but you also want to give an opportunity for people behind you to get there.
Yeah.
This one goes into the net for Riemann and makes it a 4-4 game here at the X. Again, I appreciate if you're joining us on air on FM 106.5 WCMP. If you're looking for the YouTube stream, go to WCMPradio.com/broadcast schedule, and you'll find the link there for the YouTube link. Serve comes across. Pipestone has to scramble after it. Returns it back across. Stojatovic into the middle stream. Block. Gets it right back. Stojatovic over to the far side. Gar goes for the deep corner. Scrambling after that one. Lingen able to get there. Draper to the back row. Up by Bankston. Stojatovic far side for Ferry. Cross court. Up by Riemann, the libero. Hubling over to the near side. Hubling. Her sister tried to play that one across. Blocked. Rush City has it. Bankston in the 10-foot line. Just goes for the pop shot as it was a little in front of her. Hubling off the block. Dug out by Ferry. Stojatovic. 10-foot line again for Bankston to the back row. Nice dig by Riemann to be able to get that one out. Lingen on the far side and outside of the antenna. Great job by the official on this near side. Corner officials a lot of times will stay in the edge, but she came hard to this near side to make sure she had that direct angle with the antenna.
Yeah, it's not just the state tournament for the players and coaches, but also the officials. The best of the best are here in state high school volleyball.
What a pancake dig by Gar on that tip across. Dig by Bankston on the return. Stojatovic over to the near side. Hemming taps it across. Up by Draper. Lingen to the back row. Up by Gar. Stojatovic gets it. Up, pops it up in the air to allow Ferry to get there. Lingen on the return. Over to the near side. Hubling off the block. Gar with it. Stojatovic. Quick touch across, and that's going to be a kill on the set kill. Beautiful play on both sides, but Stojatovic 2 or 3 times on that interaction.
Was that the best Rush City point of the night, you think?
I think so. Great scrambling, great defense, and able to get the kill. Hemming tried for the touchdown, but ends up hitting it off the net. Great job diving by Gore to be able to get enough for Bankston to get there. High over by Bankston, over to the near side. Blocked at the net by Stream. To the back row, Bankston up with it. Stojatovic over to the near side. Hemming into the block, but it's on the Pipestone side where it comes down. You want to get up to the net and try to get your hands over the net. You can't attack the ball, but you can get your hands over the net defensively. But if you end up a few inches off the net, sometimes you end up sticking it on your side. Down the line it goes, and deep for Draper. And Rush City starting to feel some momentum and the energy for Eric Thielander as Pipestone takes the timeout. You love to see that. 8-4 is the lead for the Rush City Tigers. Timeout on the court. We'll be back to the X on FM 106.5 WCMP.
End of the season means savings at Minnesota Equipment. Save big on remaining zero turns in stock. Bravely, Aaron's, Toro, and John Deere. Buy now with 0% financing available. That's 0 on zero turns. Need a walk behind instead? They got plenty of those too. On site and ready to go. The knowledgeable staff will get you the machine that fits your property size. Minnesota Equipment. Your neighbors. Your experts. Your neighborly experts. Highway 65 in Isanti or at minnesotaequipment.com.
FM 106.5 WCMP. Andy Beckstrom alongside Adam Hefty here at the XL Energy Center. State consolation quarterfinal, as I just combined the two words. It's really been a good night for me. My scorecard on the night is going to come back with a lot of question marks. Rush City out of the timeout, leading 8-4. Sends this one across. Right back it comes. Back and forth it goes. And a couple of, I think both teams wanted to slow it up, but it was tap, 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 tap at the net. Ultimately landing on the Rush City side, so Pipestone will get it back. But I think both teams really wanted to, hold on.
Just calm the chaos.
That one's going to be a service error for Callie Lingen. That one goes just wide. 3 service errors in the ball game for the Pipestone Arrows. For some reason, I keep wanting to call them the Cardinals. I don't know why, but Annandale playing Cannon Falls off to our left. We'll get an update on that here in just a moment.
Kill from Pipestone. Not sure who it was.
It's going to be Abria Kaur on the kill on that one. And in to serve is going to be Tegan Twinstra. Twinstra right to left on your radio dial or on your computer screen, I guess, if you're watching there. Stream with the hard hit down the line. Scrambling after it, getting there is Lingen to be able to send it back over. What a play by Pipestone on the crush. Stream again going for the cross court. Stojanovic looking for the touch. And it's not there, but back-to-back really nice plays by the sophomore. Up in the back row, Stojanovic has to track that one down. McKenna Gore high in the air. Sends that one over. Quick touch across. Diving after it. Bankston tried to get the pancake on that one, but just couldn't quite get her hand underneath it.
That
drops.
That 9-5 Rush City lead has shrunk to 9-8.
One of the things about the XL Energy Center that you just don't see in many gyms, especially smaller school gyms, is the excessively high ceiling to be able to get the shots high in the air to let your defense or just your side of the net recover. Set over to the near side and Hubling off a block, able to get that one through. And now we're tied at 9. And the momentum has shifted, although I don't think that Rush City is making the mistakes that would necessitate a timeout. Stojanovic, far side. Bankston with the kill. That one goes up into the pep band. Another one of those, all right, let's calm it down. Let's just get it on our hand.
Just get it to your best players and let them work it.
Ribbich into the ball game, replacing Hemming. Ferry also into the ball game. Will send this one across and sends that one deep. Hemming out, Thielander in. Thielander gets a significant amount of playing time as a back row rotational player. The front row goes to Ferry, back row goes to Thielander, but Thielander an 8th grader for this Rush City squad. Back set over to the near side. Big swing by Stream off the block, dug out by Bankston. Gore on the far side. Again, high in the air, allows the defense to get set. Set over the near side and Hubling down the line. Dug out by Thielander, very nicely done. Bankston calls for it, pops it high in the air across. Up it goes for Lingen. Quick shot over to the back side, down the line. Diving after it, Gore. Bankston was trying to leap over the top of her teammate to get to it. I think she had the time to get to it if Gore wasn't there, but she can't just disappear. So that one ends up in the scorer's table and a point for Pipestone. 11-10 their lead. Quick set in the middle. Stream off the block. Dug out in the back row by Lingen. Over to the far side. Sent down the line by Core. This one pushed right back across by Aaron McGee. And I'd like to highlight Kyla Hubling and Kayla Hubling have both hit very well, and the other Lingen has hit very well. But I feel like Rush City's done a pretty good job against Aaron McGee, limiting what she has done.
They have. You haven't really spoke her name quite a bit this second set especially.
Hubling sends this one across. Stojatovic back set, going for a little runner into the back row. Core able to dig that one out on the stream hit. Over to the near side, tapped across high for Hubling. Stojatovic outside for Bankston off the block. I think that went off the shoulder of Megan Lingen. And all the way over to the near side. Nobody able to track it down for Pipestone. And Pipestone still holds that lead 12-11, but Rush City with the ball back on their side. Autumn Stream to serve. Sends this one left to right. Up in the back row by Twinstra. Lingen over to the near side for Hubling. Into the net. Stream will continue to serve.
And we're tied once again.
Again, surprising.
Yeah.
Stream sends this one in play. Up by Twinstra over to the far side, and Pipestone has to scramble after that one as the set was well outside. Rush City over to the far side, tapped across by Bankston. Remond over to the far side. Off the net it goes, and it stays on the Rush City side. Just kind of a quick hit by Thielander, hit off the net and came down too quickly for Bankston to try to get down to the ground to get any type of touch on it.
Rush City was expecting McGee to attack, but she was just tapping it over, got him out of position.
Big swing by Bankston, and this one's deflected up into the crowd. Bankston gets such a good angle, downward plane angle on it, that even if you try to block it, she gets it almost around the block by hitting it off of your shoulders. Back to serve is going to be Cora Stojatovic. Tumbling serve, kind of eats up Riemann just a little bit. Set over to the near side. Draper will pop it across. Up by Gore. Stojatovic back set over to the near side. Hemming with the cross-court winner. Beautiful set, and Hemming knew just what to do with it. Had a good angle and put it straight to the ground.
Yeah, now Rush City with a 14-13 lead.
Stojatovic continuing to serve. Left to right, leading 14-13. Slight jump serve, more of a hop serve. Up by Riemann, set into the back row, now going for Hubling, diving after it, Gore able to get the dig. Stojatovic, Bankston, and I think they're going to get a double on Stojatovic on the set. Had a little bit of rotation on it. I didn't think it was quite that bad, but enough rotation that the official will call that. Back set over to the near side, Bankston pops it across the set with a little bit behind her, sent that one to the back row. Draper off the block, diving after it, Stojatovic got a piece of it, but couldn't come up with it.
And back and forth we go.
Back to serve is going to be Kyla Hubling. Sends this one deep, up by Gore the libero. Stojatovic into the middle. Ertz hammered that one down, but is dug by Lingen. Over to the near side, Hubling. Bankston gets the dig. Stojatovic back for Bankston. Goes deep corner on it, but a nice dig by Riemann. Able to get her hands up on it. Riemann pops it high in the air across, up for Gore. Stojatovic back set, goes for the quick for Hemming. Taps that one over the top of McGee. Over to the near side, and a touch of the net. I believe Ertz got a touch of the net, so an error on the Rush City Tigers.
So now 16-14 is the Arrows' lead.
I think they put it on Hemming, but for stats, but I think it was Ertz that touched it. Up to the front, Lingen back sits over to the far side. Draper, I don't know how she got a piece of that little miscommunication there with McGee. Big swing by Bankston, and off the block dugout. Diving after it, Thielander got a piece of it deep on this near side. Beautiful play by the 8th grader, but nobody able to get back after it in the middle of the court, and it's a 17-14 lead for Pipestone. And Rush City's going to take a timeout here in the mid to latter stages of game number 2. And Adam, it's a 17-14 game, but I don't know that this timeout is more mistakes and more just, okay, we need to slow it down a little bit and give them a break. It's been a little bit of a frantic pace.
It has been, and just to calm things down a little bit. They're still in this set trying to tie this match up. You just don't want to get it too much of a deficit where you're not able to come back. It's been within 4 points this entire night for both squads, so I think that's more of this timeout.
Taking a look at the other court, Cannon Falls leads 18-12 and 1-0 over the top of the Annandale Cardinals. That off to our left on court number 1. That is the semifinals to go to the championship. Pequot Lakes won earlier tonight over Concordia Academy. And, of course, in our side, it'll be Belle Plaine awaiting the winner of this matchup tomorrow. Bankston off the timeout, sends this one across, dug out by Hubling, sent back over by the other Hubling. Into the middle it goes Ertz, blocked, but she digs it out. Sojatovic hit over to the far side. Bankston trying to go down the line and missed it deep. A couple of players maybe looking for a touch down the line, but I don't know that there was one. Serving is going to be Hubling. Up to the front, Sojatovic sends it to the deep corner. Lingen, Riemann over to the far side. Draper off the block. And now you're seeing some points pile up for Pipestone as they have a lead of 5, 19-14 in the late stages of game number 2. Pipestone already leads it a game to none. And a little miscommunication as far as who was going to get that one. Thielander set it up, but Sojatovic was well over to this near side. And everybody just expected Sojatovic to get there.
Yeah, Rush City seems a bit out of it here in the latter stages.
Big swing by Bankston off the block. Sojatovic thought that it was out. The corner officials thought that it was in. And if you thumb wrestle that, the official's going to win.
Most of the time.
Mostly because he's wearing that gray shirt that's kind of official. That's why he's official. Sojatovic into the middle, and Ertz sends this one across, but I think they're going to get a double on the hit by Sojatovic, or by the set by Sojatovic, but I thought that she actually pulled that one cleanly with as much spin was on it when it came across. Nonetheless, it is a call of a double. Point goes to Pipestone, 22-14 as Pipestone pushes out a big lead in game 2. We'll be back here to the X in one moment on FM 106.3 WCMP.
Most Americans do not have a proper will or estate plan in place. Many of you listening have been putting off that important task for a long time. Stop waiting and contact Spear & Swanson today. Spear & Swanson can help you put together a tight legal estate plan to make sure the assets you've been working so hard to obtain get passed on to your loved ones in the way that best fits you. Spear & Swanson, attorneys at law in Pine City. Call 320-629-7586. That's 320-629-7586.
FM 106.5 WCMP. Andy Beckstrom on hand with Adam Hefty out here at the XL Energy Center. Rush City had a lead of 14-13 like about 10 seconds ago, Adam. Now it's 22-14 coming out of the timeout.
Yeah, 9-point run by Pipestone gives them a...
Make it 10 as it's down the line for Kayla Hubling. Just crushes that down the line. And 23-14. And at this point in time, I think the last timeout that was taken by Coach Thielander, maybe kind of a discussion of, you know what, let's wrap this, play well for the last couple of points, but let's try to get some momentum going into game 3.
Yeah, absolutely. Big deficit here. It's going to be tough to come back from it. As I say that, a kill is from Rush City.
Into the middle, it went for Ertz, and Ertz is able to get the kill. Brings it back now 23-15. Bankston to serve into the ball game for the first time is going to be number 5, Kayla Diedrich, 6'1" junior. I think they're able to get that one up in the air. Hubling down the line. Dug out, though, by Bankston. Sojatovic far side for Ferry. Cross court. Riemann able to dig that one out. But it's a net touch by Pipestone on Meredith Draper. 23-16. She ain't over yet, Adam.
Yeah, Rush City hanging in there.
Bankston serving up in the back row for the Pipestone Arrows. And then down the line, McGee tried to go down the line. I thought maybe it hit the antenna, but it hit the net nonetheless, and Rush City did not touch it. McGee was hoping for a touch on the play, but none will come. 23-17. Ace for Lydia Bankston. Put it to the back row. And I think that Hubling thought it was going to be deep. They just let it go, and it hit that back line.
That's got to be so tough, just judging where that ball is going to go from the trajectory.
Bankston sends this one across. Up by Hubling. Into the middle it goes. McGee dug out nicely, but it's going to be a lift on the other side. I think on the hit by McGee, you can push it, but you have to have your hand kind of over the top of the ball. That way it's more of a hit, but she had her hand a little bit too underneath the ball. Over to the near side, Hubling pops that one across. Dug out by Sojatovic. Gar over to the near side for Diedrich. Over the top of the block. Dug out by the Arrows. Over to the near side. Block on the near side by Ertz, but she had her hands turned a little bit. When you say Ertz, she got the block, but she's tapping her chest immediately. If you're the inside blocker, you have to turn your hands out to try to make sure that deflection stays in. She is acknowledging she just didn't get there quite in time to be able to keep that one in. Set point now for Pipestone, but a brilliant kill on the far side. Ferry getting that one down the line. Riemann can't reach it. 24-20, and an opportunity for Rush City to still stay in this ballgame. Gar to serve. Back row Hubling up with it. Back set, and it's going to be off the block, and that'll be a net touch. It'll be a point for Pipestone. 25-20 on that final point. The kill by Meredith Draper off the block. And before we take the break, Adam, your thoughts on game number 2?
Well, it looked as though it was going to go a lot like game number 1, but Pipestone went on quite the run there in that middle portion. And even though Rush City made a bit of a run of their own towards the end of it, just that deficit was a little too hard to overcome, and that seemed to be the difference. I like the fight that Rush City showed during the latter stages of that game. They had a big lead to start and forced Pipestone into a timeout, but then they gave up 10 straight points, but they didn't quit. And they actually had, arguably you could say they have a little bit of momentum going into game 3. Yeah, they played their best volleyball towards that back. Well, I don't know. They played really well in the first part of that second set. And we talked about it when we went to commercial after Pipestone took that timeout, saying Rush City found it. 25-20, though, it goes in favor of the Pipestone Arrows. Get you set for game number 3. We'll take a look at some stats when we return to the XL Energy Center on FM 106.5 WCMP.
Hey, I'm Chad Greenway. When I was playing, I loved chasing down running backs. But you shouldn't have to chase your bank around when you're buying a home. Franzen Bank and Trust Mortgage Consultants will be with you stride for stride, like a linebacker on a running back, from pre-approval to closing and beyond. Let Franzen Bank guide you through the mortgage process. Learn more at franzenbank.com/getThere. Franzen Bank and Trust. Real people, real results. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Choose the right divorce attorney. Spear and Swanson will make sure the judge knows your side of the story. Let them help you with your divorce, custody, child support, harassment, or orders for protection. They also handle DWIs and other legal matters. The right divorce attorney does make a difference. That's why you need to choose Spear and Swanson, attorneys at law in Pine City. Call 320-620-7586.
Spear and Swanson, Pine Technical College, Graham Area Schools, some of our fall sponsors. If you're looking to be able to jump on board, we'd appreciate your business and your help to be able to bring you all of the winter sports season. As we have a rough layout of what the calendar looks like, and Adam, there's some games.
Yeah, it's a lot, and we love it.
Winter sports season, definitely the heaviest as far as scheduling for all of the different sports, not only because of the frequency, just because football plays once a week, and in the spring, really softball and baseball just don't have enough time because of weather to be able to get a lot of games. But really for winter sports, you have girls and boys basketball, girls and boys hockey, wrestling. There's just more going on and so many more teams to cover.
I love the optimism of spring sports, though. They schedule in early April just in case.
It's true. That's when you find out how deep your pitching staff is, when you're playing 6 games in 5 days in the second week of May.
Double headers galore.
2-0. Pipestone leads it over the top of the Rush City Tigers as we work our way into game number 3 here at the XL Energy Center. Trying to take a look at some of the individual stats here for each team. And Adam, it's tough to, really get too much of an idea of, how these stats affect it, because you're going to have teams, players are going to have good things and some that are going to be not. But, some of the leaders, for Pipestone, none that are really shocking. It's going to be Kayla Hubling and Kyla Hubling, both as far as kills, and then Draper with 4 as well. But 10 kills for Kayla Hubling if she gets that first one right out of the gate from the 10-foot line, able to crush that one across for the kill. On the other side, Lydia Bankston leads with 10 on the Rush City sideline. Nobody else with more than 3, so Rush City's going to need a little bit more balance maybe here in game number 3, as we have an ace on or not an ace, but a block at the net to get a second point. Pipestone takes the early lead. Early leads mean nothing, though. It's like the NBA. Set far side down the line. Bankston with the kill as this one goes up into the drapes in the middle of the court. We have 2 courts that are playing back-to-back, basically end-line to end-line is what I should say. But have a giant drapery in the middle so that the ball does not cross over and affect the other court.
Here at the X, crease to crease.
There we go. Love it. Shot on the other far side for Draper. Gar able to get that one high into the middle, and then Ertz pops that one across. Remond into the middle of Lingler, and it's going to be off the block, and McGee's going to get the kill. Diving after it and chasing after it, Bankston. Tigers not able to corral it. And it's a 3-1 start. This ball sent across by Pipestone. Set far side for Hemming. Off the block. It hit the net, and it just rolled back the other direction. It sat there for a second, but Rush City thought maybe it was going to roll over, and it did not. Once again, serving, Kyla Hubling. Stoyanovich, quick set into the middle. Ertz able to reach that one and push that one down. And that's just a talented play from somebody that tall. Ertz listed in the in your scorebook at 6'1", and she needed every bit of that to be able to reach that one just a little over her head.
Really good awareness from Michaela Ertz. That was the difference on that point.
Back to serve is going to be McKenna Gar from right to left as we switch sides once again. This one into the net. Service errors. Rush City has 4 to just 3 for Pipestone. Riemann sends this one across. Return comes right back, though, onto the hands of Hubling. And when she has not only the ball in her wheelhouse, but no blockers in front of her, that is a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, you're just allowing her to cook.
Stray ball wandering its way over here on our side as it came from the other court. Some of the XL Energy staff tracking that one down. Hubling down with it. Draper and off the block, but it stays on the Rush City side. Stream got a piece of it, but it stayed right down the tape, and it just falls on the Rush City side.
Yeah, so now a 5-point lead for Pipestone here in the third set.
They lead 7-2. Bankston calling for it. It'll go far side for Hemming, though. Tries to go for the deep part of the court on the deep cross, but not there. Just a little bit deep.
Rush City needs something here. They needed to get a little momentum going to get back into this third set.
Serve comes across, up by Bankston. Stoyanovich, quick touch across. Going to be up by the libero Lingen. Hubling on the far side, picks it off the net. Lingen is going to punch it across for the Arrows. Up by Gar. Stoyanovich for Bankston at the 10-foot line. Diving after it. Hubling able to get it up into the air. Hubling then sends it across with Core. And Stream gets it blocked in the middle by Aubrey Core. What a block in the middle with the solo block. And a timeout called by Coach Eric Thielander. 9-2. Couple of really nice plays by the Arrows on the last couple of interactions, last possessions, including a heck of a diving play by Kyla Hubling in the back row.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of the talent of Pipestone that Rush City really hasn't seen this year. And a couple hits from Bankston would have normally gotten the points, but not this time. And Pipestone able to counter and get the point.
Lead is 9-2 as Coach Thielander talks to his gang across the way.
Using that full minute.
Taking advantage of the opportunity he has. Words of encouragement just to stick with what they do and do what they do, not worry about what Pipestone is doing. And Pipestone right now is so hard to defend. We thought really pregame Aaron McGee was going to be one of the keys as well as Hubling. They've done really well keeping track of McGee, but Hubling has been just a dominant force. 10-foot line for Bankston. Diving after it. Riemann rather got a piece of it, and Core can't handle it off the net.
And if you're going to want to make a run, that's how you have to start it. You have to start it somehow, right?
Sometimes you reach a certain point that it doesn't matter where they're on the court or who's blocking them. You put it on their hand and let them make the play. Hemming sends this one across. Up by Riemann, the libero. Backs it over to the near side for Draper. Down the line. Dug out in the middle by Bankston. Stojatovic into the middle. Cap across by Stream. Dug out by Draper. Set far side for Hebling. And Hubling, I don't know where she found room going down the line over there, but she just found room. Hitting that straight down. Point for Pipestone, 10-3. Callie Lingen into the ball game to serve. Stojatovic over to the near side, and this hit's going to go deep. The set was a little behind Autumn Stream. Not much she could do with that one. Tried to at least get a piece of it. I think I talked about earlier that sometimes you get the ball behind you. You try to still hook it down because you want to make something happen, especially in a game where you're down 10-3. Stojatovic pops it high into the air. Stream will bump this one across to the back row. Up for Lingen. Cross court by Core, and the return into the Pipestone bench. And Pipestone starting to pull away here in game number 3. Not what you were hoping for here in game 3.
Yeah, not if you're Rush City.
Stojatovic back for Bankston. Pops that one across, and a 10-foot dig by Core. Back set is going to have to come for Lingen. Set across into the middle. Stream with a big swing, and it's going to be, I believe, a net touch by Aubrey Core.
Rush City trying to stay within a shooter's distance of Pipestone here in the third set, trying to keep this match going.
12-4 now in favor of Pipestone. Ferry to serve. Fights that one off in the back row. Core on the far side. Dug out by Gore nicely. Stream trying to go cross court, able to find the length. Found this near edge. And Autumn Stream, we talked about some of the youth. She's one of the players, her and Abigail Thielander especially, much so underclassmen, the future bright for this Rush City squad.
Absolutely. I think just 3 seniors on this Rush City squad.
Bankston goes deep on that hit. The 3 seniors that they have, Mackenzie Ribbich, Veronica Hemming,
4 seniors.
Caden Lamont and Emily Angston are the 4 seniors, I should say, for the Rush City Tigers. So they bring back really the bulk of their team and a lot of the core that they have. That one's tapped across, and a kill for the Rush City Tigers. 13-6. Lydia Bankston got that one. Stream to serve. Sends this one across. Up by Lingen. Sent across. Nice dig by Ribbich, able to get that one across. Over to the near side. Tapped across by Core. Set over the near side. Big swing. Bankston approached it like she was just going to tap it across and then just went with the hammer through the block and then off the shoulder of Hubling.
It was 12-3 at one point. They've shrunk the lead to 6.
Stream sends this one a little short. Hubling able to get that one over to the far side for the other Hubling from Lingen. Dug out now by Core on the Bankston hit. Returned by Core to the back row. And just out of the reach of the Tigers. 14-7, and Pipestone almost at this point just trying to just match wits. I mean, obviously you want to get a run as much as you can, but almost just looking to match wits.
Yeah, if you can go point for point if you're Pipestone, that's good enough to come away with the victory tonight.
Winner again plays Belle Plaine tomorrow back here at the XL Energy Center. Right here on this court. Bankston pops that one across, set far side now after the dig. Sent over by Hubling. The near side now for Bankston. Hammers that one down, but it's returned back across by Pipestone. Stojatovic back for Bankston. Diving after that one again up on the back row by Lingen, pushed across by McGee. Opportunity for the Tigers into the middle. Ertz tried to be able to find a spot, dug out by Lingen. Lingen pops that one across from McGee. Stojatovic quick touch across, but right there Hubling to get that one. Lingen, far side for Hubling, down the line, missed it wide.
So now 14-8 is the Pipestone lead.
Cora Stojatovic back to serve for the Rush City Tigers, right to left in their blue uniforms, gold numerals in trim. Pipestone in their white uniforms with green numerals in trim. The arrows of Pipestone area set far side, and it's going to be sent across by Hubling, dug out by the Tigers. Near side Bankston down the line, digging nicely by Twinstra, and then the pop across by Lingen comes up well short of the net.
Now that lead is only down to 5.
And you start to feel a little bit of momentum starting to build
Little
on the
by
Tiger
little,
sideline.
little by little, but it is there. It was not a 9-point lead, now down to 5.
You see this almost in basketball a little bit where you don't get the entire thing. You can't, get 9 points on one kill. You just get one. You try to get a couple of points. And this one, a touch. The corner official says touch. McGee is beside herself. Can't believe it.
So now the lead is down to 4.
Coach Dave Dulas, though, calm in the storm. He's like, let's not worry about it. This is not the time to worry about it. You still have a 4-point lead and a 2-games-to-none lead, even if you drop the set. It's back set and sent across by Hubling, dug out by the Tigers. Bankston tried to go deep, but did not get a touch on that one. Thielander was maybe looking for a touch, thought there was one on this near side, but there was no touch on that one coming through. Lingen to serve for Pipestone. Sends this one across. McKenna Gore. And Hemming is blocked up at the net, and a net touch by Pipestone. And I think McGee got that one, trying to be able to get over the top to block Hemming. The set was really close. Hemming tried to just pop it over. Bankston to serve. Up to the front. Good redirection by Ferry. When you get that ball coming up to you, the defense is coming to you from one direction, not the band. And you just try to put it where they came from.
You don't know. You don't know where they've been.
It's true. It could be. Maybe they're a volleyball team now. Banks into the back row, up by the libero Riemann. Hubling on the far side, dug out by Gore. Stojatovic, back set, Hemming down the line. Long on the hit.
So now a 4-point lead. 16-12. Rush City just creeping back into this one.
Coming up and sending this one in play is going to be Kyla Hubling. Into the middle it goes Hemming, blocked at the net. Comes right back over for McGee, and that's that same play we just talked about. He's just redirected the other direction. I was going to mention before, just trying to get, bit by bit, point by point, try to get it within 5, try to get it within 3. Not the whole thing at once, but an opportunity now. Once again, back set. Bankston, that one was a little bit of an over hit, I think, trying to really get a couple points on that one. Hits that one into the net. Now a timeout called by Coach Eric Thielander. 18-12 in the state consolation semifinal in Class AA. We'll be back here to the XL Energy Center on FM 106.5 WCMP.
October is College Knowledge Month at Pine Technical and Community College. The whole month, PTCC will be providing a variety of events for high school students and the community to learn more about college options. College Knowledge Month is meant to provide future students with the preparation, opportunity, and support needed to apply to college. Join PTCC for a nursing program information session on October 26th at 2:30 p.m. Everyone is welcome. Learn more at pine.edu.
FM 106.5 WCMP. Andy Beckstrom with Adam Hefty here at the XL Energy Center. And Adam, they've cut it within a handful, but Pipestone stays about 5 to 6 points out in front.
Yeah, those are big couple points by Pipestone to extend this lead.
What a diving up on this near side by Hubling. Ertz up with it. Sent back over by Stojatovic. Into the middle it goes, and a tap across, diving after it. Gore is not going to get there, and McGee with the kill. Couple of opportunities, and Rush City just not able to overcome really what has been tremendous play by Pipestone.
Yeah, especially in that front line, Hubling and McGee, both Hublings.
And the ball into the middle, and Rush City with the point. Able to get another edge, but again, stays at about a 6-point ball game. Hemming with the kill on that one, 19-13. McKenna Gore set to serve. Up by Riemann, set over to the far side. Hubling sent it to the back row. Bankston up with it. Hemming on this Ferry on the near side, I should say. Popped across. Gore, Sojatovic, into the middle, and that was one you maybe want to let go through there. Stream seeing the big block of McGee with her hands outstretched in front of her, went with a little tap across, but McGee tried to tap that one up high and ended up, everybody was out of position on a play.
As Gar hit it into the net for the service error.
Service errors and some of the errors have really plagued the Tigers in the last set and a half. 20-14, and time is starting to run out for the Tigers. Ball to the back row. Sojatovic in the front, popped across by Stream. Lingler over to the far side for Hubling. Blocked at the net. Back for Pipestone. Over the near side, Draper. Cross court, Bankston up with it. Into the middle of the go. Bankston will pop that one high and over the net. Comes up to the front. Cross court set rather. Hubling send it across. Return back over by Bankston. Lingler over to the near side. Draper off the block. And a kill for Meredith Draper. And Rush City now down to 4 points. And maybe you start taking a look at the other side now for Coach Thielander to see if the seniors are going to maybe get an opportunity that maybe they don't have here late in the state quarterfinal. Or state semifinal, I should say. That one's going to be a block on the far side as Hubling gets the block on Hemming. 22-14. Set comes across. And in the near side, Stream off the block. Far side, Hemming off the block. Puts that one across. And Hubling with the big kill. And Hubling has just been a dominant force tonight.
Just with the power behind those hits.
23-14. 2 points away for Pipestone to move on to the Consolation Championship. Ferry puts this one across. Up by Riemann into the far side for Hubling. Diving after it, Gore. Really nice play. Sojatovic back for Bankston. I think she initially wanted to call that in and then changed her call kind of partway through, but I think it was the right call.
I think so too. She's been really solid.
There's a couple of officials or a couple of fans behind me that I think disagree, but I think that was the right call. Match point for Pipestone. Riemann to the back row. Bankston for it. Into the middle for Stream. Up by Pipestone. They have an opportunity. Draper down the line. Gore up with it to the front of the net. Stream pushes it across. Up by Lingen. Backside to the far side. Big swing by Hubling. Dug out by Bankston. Ferry with the kill attempt. Missed it long, but a net touch by Pipestone. Rush City still alive. 24-15.
So Rush City going to need some heroics here to stay alive.
Veronica Hemming's got to serve out the game. To the far side, up by Hubling. Lingen over to the near side. Draper into the block. And it's going to be a lift on the return. They were able to pick it off of the net, but not cleanly. And that's going to be a lift, and that will be the match. 25-15 is the final. 25-15 in 3 games. 25-21, 25-20, and 25-15. Rush City falls to the arrows of Pipestone. We'll come back here to the XL Energy Center and wrap things up when we return on FM 106.5 WCMP.
No appointment? No problem. Injuries and feeling ill don't always happen during normal business hours. That's why Wellia Health has urgency services open 7 days a week. Urgency Services in Pine City offers the care you need when you need it. Hours are now 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. 7 days a week. No need to call or make an appointment. Just stop in. When tomorrow isn't soon enough and normal business hours just won't do, you can count on Wellia Health to be there for you. Live life well at Wellia Health.
It's almost time to start pushing snow. Sorry, just the messenger. Thankfully, Minnesota Equipment in Isanti has affordable machines to do the heavy lifting. Any size property. Toro and Aaron's walk behind snow blowers. Oh, you got land, huh? How about John Deere lawn and garden tractors? Or a compact utility tractor? Minnesota Equipment has them in stock. Snow removal doesn't have to be backbreaking. Not if you get into Minnesota Equipment. Highway 65 in Isanti. Or visit minnesotaequipment.com.
Hi, this is Shelby from Unity Bank in Rush City, Minnesota. Do you want to give your teenager independence and responsibility? Open a savings account or a checking account with a debit card at Unity Bank today. Plus, with the Unity Control mobile app, you can help control their debit card activity. And stay tuned because we'll soon be offering a Rush City Tigers School Spirit debit card, where with every purchase you make with your School Spirit debit card, Unity Bank will donate up to 5 cents to our local Rush City School District. Let's be committed to community together. You can find us at unitybanking.com, and our number is 320-358-3600, member FDIC.
FM 106.5 WCMP, Andy Beckstrom on hand with Adam Hefty for the call of tonight's matchup between the Rush City Tigers and the Pipestone area Arrows, a 3-0 victory by the Pipestone squad. And Adam, first and foremost, before we really get to the game, I want to take a little bit of a moment and just highlight what a tremendous season Coach Eric Thielander and the entire Rush City squad has had.
Oh, absolutely. Just 3 losses total on the season, and 2 of them coming here at the XL over the past couple games. They've played quite a few good opponents, and most of the time coming away victorious. And even here against Pipestone, you're going to look at this and see a 3-0 victory for Pipestone area. But it really wasn't a blowout. They were close throughout the entire first and second set. Pipestone got quite a big lead there in that third set, but Rush City able to cut it to within 3, but then Pipestone fighting back to win this one by 10. But yeah, certainly a good season for Rush City, and it'll be interesting to see what comes ahead for next season. But those seniors for Rush City really put their heart and soul into this season, and it's disappointing that it has to come to an end.
Yeah, it's a tough night, and we've talked about it numerous times. I think we sometimes even refer to it a little bit as the crying season. It's a great time, championships, big-time games, a lot of fun, and just an exciting time, especially for the teams that make it down to situations like this, the XL Energy Center, US Bank Stadium, in the spring, Target Field, just so many great places, Target Center, Williams Arena. But at the same time, with the exception for only a handful of teams, almost everybody finishes their season with a loss. Mm-hmm. And it's always such a tough thing to be able to do. I mean, it's the nature of what things are, and you're going to have that no matter what, and it's a sad thing to have to be able to accept. But at the same time, it's still you see something like that. It's not just the end of the game; it's the end of a career. And depending on the sport, volleyball is a little bit. It's the last time they're going to be wearing those colors. The last time they're going to be playing with those teammates, and very sad. Volleyball, you do have the chance to maybe be able to go play, whether it be college or intramural or. Even like, co-ed, locally or anything like that. But at the same time, it's such a kind of an ending to everything. And then in a way, your senior season starts to kind of set in that, like, it's the end of your senior.
Yeah, things are coming to a close, if you will. Sure.
Which is, always kind of tough. And so we want to, highlight and send well wishes, especially out to the handful of seniors we talked about a little bit before, the 4 seniors for the Rush City Tigers. Emily Angston, Caden Lamont, Veronica Hemming, and Mackenzie Ribbich, the 4 seniors for the Rush City Tigers, ending their career tonight as we work our way through the post game here on FM 106.5 WCMP. Championship on the other side went to Cannon Falls, or at least the semifinal went to Cannon Falls. So Cannon Falls and Pequot Lakes for a championship. Third place game will be Concordia and Annandale. And then the consolation championship will be Belle Plaine and Pipestone, which it should be a fun day of volleyball. Just unfortunately, we don't have one of our local teams involved.
Yeah, a lot of good volleyball here at the XL this entire week. And that's really great to see and what it's all about.
When you take a look at some of the stats, kind of going up and down for both squads, there's obviously a couple of players that truly stand out for both teams. For the Rush City Tigers, of course, Lydia Bankston, we've talked many times, 14 kills in the night, and just a tremendous opportunity, a tremendous night for her. Did very, very well. A couple of aces for her as well on the night. Cora Sajatovic, 28 assists on those kills. And really, you had a great opportunity to be able to take maybe one or two of those games. It just felt like that third game, the key players for Pipestone, which you take a look at their stats, led by Kayla Hubling, 14 kills on the night to go along. She did not have any aces, but she the 14 kills for her matched Bankston. But arguably, it felt like she had more control of the game on the Pipestone side.
And the timing of them as well. It came at really opportune timing for Pipestone, and that seemed to be the difference.
You take a look at some of the team stats. Kills for Rush City, 34. Kills for Pipestone, 44. Now, you say, well, that's obvious because they won. But the balance to a certain extent. We talked about Kayla Hubling with the 14 kills. Draper had 9 kills in the game, so you can't discount what she said or what she did throughout the course of the game. And then McGee, we talked a couple of times, and we thought that they actually were able to not control but handle what she did quite a bit. She did have a little bit better game in the third game, but she finishes with 8 kills on the night. And Pipestone showed a lot of balance. I think that's one of the things that they had.
Yeah, they're able to attack you from a lot of places, and that's what makes them very dangerous.
So Pipestone moves on into the Consolation Championship tomorrow against Belle Plaine. It'll be a full day of volleyball, as we'll have consolation, third place, and championships for all of the classes happening down here at the XL Energy Center. Great atmosphere to be able to be a part of if you have an opportunity to be able to make it down. I want to thank all of our sponsors for jumping on throughout the course of the season, and of course for the playoff runs. We've had a lot of support from a lot of areas. Some of them I don't want to say expected, but some of them also even not expected. Seeing Bram area schools be able to jump on board and be able to support some of the neighboring communities, very fun to be able to see that. So we want to definitely send a heartfelt appreciation out to all of them for being a part of this. Our fall season is wrapped up. Now, we had, unfortunately, we had 2 of our football teams, 4 teams in state, which is a tremendous season. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I'm not upset about it. But we had 2 of them lose last night. Ogilvie lost earlier today, and now Rush City with the 3-0 loss to Pipestone wraps up our fall sports season. It's going to be a busy winter, but it is kind of sad to see the fall sports season come to an end.
Yeah, it gives us an opportunity to rest a little bit.
Sort of. I'm gonna go do hockey tomorrow. So opportunity. I have a chance to be able to do some other games for a streaming deal for a juniors team in a Sandy. So I'm gonna go do that. So I'm gonna freeze tomorrow. Is basically what I'm saying.
Good.
Wear the
Sounds
thick
enjoyable.
Socks. I'm gonna wear the thick socks once again for that. But again, we want to thank all of the sponsors. We want to thank you guys for tuning in, all of our listeners, whether they be local, whether it's your first time, whether you've been a long-time loyal listener, whatever it may be. We truly appreciate you being a part of our broadcast and being a part of our really our sports team, as we have multiple different signals that we run on. If you're looking to find out where we're going to be next, not a lot of it's going to be posted right now, but going forward, make sure you open up a browser tab or get a notepad out. WCMPradio.com/broadcast schedule, or if you just go to WCMPradio.com, go to the sports page and then go to the broadcast schedule from there. That's where you're going to be able to find out where we're going to be at. You can also go to our respective YouTube pages. I believe there's 5 of them for WCMP Sports, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Go to all of them, like, share, and subscribe, as want to say. And you can also hit notifications on that. It's kind of funny that sometimes when I go on air, I have the notification pop up on my phone that, hey, I'm doing a game. So you can be able to get a chance to see, like, okay, we're going to be going on air, and you can be able to see where we're going to be at. So those are some of the resources, and, of course, all of our social medias that we have all over the place. So any final thoughts from the floor of the X?
Oh, no, this has been fun. This is my first time being at the X. Well, last night was for calling a game at the X, if you will. And it's been fun. They do a great job. It's a gorgeous building.
Absolutely phenomenal place to be able to just be a part of, whether you're watching a hockey game or you're watching tournament games, or broadcasting is absolutely a premium spot to be. And we want to appreciate the State High School League as well for the opportunity to be down here and to be a part of this. Rush City loses it 3-0 to the Pipestone area Arrows. They have wrapped up their season. We have wrapped up our fall season. And everybody in our local area now looking forward to the winter sports season. For Adam Hefty, my name is Andy Beckstrom and the remainder of the Q Media sports team. Until the winter sports season at the Xcel Energy Center, have a good night, everybody.
Did you know that Franzen Bank and Trust is a Minnesota-owned company? And they're one of the largest community banks around. That's a great combination. As a community bank, they're dedicated to their customers and the communities they serve. You might say they're big enough to help, small enough to care. Last March, they provided $20,000 in grants to 6 different Minnesota communities. They also processed well over 1,700 PPP loans, allowing local small businesses to keep their employees on the payroll during the pandemic. Franzen Bank and Trust. Real people, real results. Member FDIC.